Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, General Hospital Diaries. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. General Hospital spoilers tease that tensions will run high as Jason Morgan becomes furious over Sasha Gilmore Corbin aligning herself with Jen Sidwell. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer will have a firm message for Sonny Corinthos. At Deception, Brooklyn Quartermain will appear uneasy as Maxie Jones gets on a call and emphasizes that nothing is officially confirmed. Could Sidwell's arrangement with Deception already be facing obstacles? Elsewhere, Olivia Quartermain will commend Sasha, saying she's well on her way to becoming a true Quartermain. However, that progress may be overshadowed by a brewing conflict once Jason learns what's going on. After getting wind of Sasha's $250,000 agreement, Jason will confront her and demand answers about her involvement with Sidwell. This confrontation will leave Sasha needing to clarify her actions, while giving Jason the chance to voice some serious concerns. While Anna Devane and Felicia Scorpio share a moment to catch up, Jordan Ashford will be occupied with a meeting involving Sidwell. When Jordan asks about Sidwell's expectations, he'll lay out his vision following her resignation as deputy mayor. As Jordan creates more distance from Laura Collins, Sidwell will hint at the potential for a powerful new alliance. Considering Sidwell's previous proposal for Jordan to be his right-hand advisor and political advocate, he might bring that up again, possibly with some additional responsibilities in mind. Over at Carly's, Sonny may open up about a situation involving Rocco Falconeri, who doesn't want him attending an upcoming debate. Rocco's concern stems from how his association with Sonny might affect Laura's public image, and while Sonny understands, it still hurts him to be kept at a distance. Carly could acknowledge Rocco's point of view and urge Sonny to respect the process, including whatever the outcome is with the Esplanade referendum. If Sonny truly wants to support Laura, Carly will caution him to step aside and let her navigate things on her own terms. Meanwhile, Jocelyn Jacks will try to convince Emma Scorpio Drake that something's being taken out of context. Both young women will cross paths at GH, but things may get tense as Emma doesn't appear too pleased with Jocelyn's actions. Jocelyn's recent attempt to capture Professor Henry Dalton's attention could be part of the issue, setting the stage for a bit of conflict with Emma. Viewers should stay tuned to see how this situation unfolds. General Hospital spoilers hint that Jocelyn's latest move could bring some surprises and unexpected challenges. In tomorrow's episode, Jordan Ashford is drawn in by Jen Sidwell's intriguing offer. Maxie Jones cautions that nothing is guaranteed. Meanwhile, Emma Scorpio Drake has a tense moment with Jocelyn Jacks. Elsewhere, Carly Spencer shares some thoughtful advice with her ex-husband. Sonny Corinthos stops by her place to talk about Laura Collins. Sonny learned about the upcoming debate and the surrounding online buzz thanks to Rocco Falconeri. While Sonny already promised not to attend the debate, Carly adds her perspective, telling him that if he truly wants to support Laura, the best thing he can do is step aside and let her lead. Meanwhile, Jordan meets up with Sidwell. She had previously set a plan in motion by stepping down from her role in Laura's office. As a seasoned former undercover officer, Jordan noticed Sidwell's interest and decided to use it to her advantage. Now that her resignation is public, Sidwell presents her with a job opportunity. Jordan anticipated Sidwell would make a move, but she's not about to dive in without knowing all the details. She needs to learn exactly what Sidwell expects from her in return. Still, Jordan plays it cool, curious and seemingly intrigued by whatever he has in mind. Over at the university, a preview clip teases some major tension as Emma locks eyes with Jocelyn. Jocelyn's latest assignment with the WSB involves becoming Henry Dalton's research assistant, something Emma had her sights on and genuinely cared about. At the same time, Henry's behavior is setting off some red flags. In any case, it appears Emma challenges Jocelyn. But Jocelyn, working undercover, insists that Emma is misreading the situation and taking things too far. Meanwhile, viewers can expect a charged moment as Jason Morgan confronts Sasha Corbin. And elsewhere, Anna Devane reconnects with Felicia Scorpio. Additionally, Maxie emphasizes during the episode that nothing is set in stone. She's likely referring to Deception's pending deal with Sidwell regarding his mineral assets. Sidwell has pulled a lot of strings to make this happen, including offering Sasha a hefty $250,000. That financial incentive might be something Sasha, independent as ever, Sasha prefers to rely on herself rather than anyone else. But with so many moving parts, there's always the possibility that things could take a turn for the worse. General Hospital reveals that Alexis Davis will deliver an unexpected decision, while Sonny Corinthos steps into the role of party host. Molly Lansing Davis will also face a troubling situation and will ultimately need some support. So let's talk about all the excitement that's brewing. At Sonny's place, he'll throw a lively get-together in celebration of Dante Falconeri's birthday. Lulu Spencer will be caught off guard when she arrives and sees that Dante hasn't shown up yet, though Sonny and Olivia Quartermain may assure her he'll be there soon. Naturally, Lulu will bring Rocco Falconeri along, and Danny Morgan will be part of the celebration too. Christina Corinthos Davis, Lois Cirillo, and Giovanni Gio Palmieri will all be in attendance, making for a warm and familiar guest list. Interestingly, Gio won't be aware that he's attending his biological father's birthday party, but Lois may take notice if Gio ends up bonding with Dante during the event. Soap parties often bring a few surprises, so we'll have to see if any secrets come to light, or if the gathering takes an unexpected turn. Meanwhile, Cody Bell will have a moment of heroism while horseback riding, offering assistance to someone in need. Although Molly is known for being self-sufficient, she might playfully refer to Cody as her knight in shining armor for the day. Elsewhere on Thursday's GH episode, Harrison Chase and Brooklyn Quartermain will align on their vision as they solidify plans for their next chapter. Over with Carly Spencer, she'll be eager for answers when Lucas Jones stops by for a visit. Lucas will have questions about why Jason Morgan is focused on Marco Rios, though Carly may admit she's just as curious. Speaking of Marco, he'll grow concerned that Alexis might pull back on a job offer. Once Alexis learns that Jen Sidwell is Marco's father, it'll certainly raise some red flags. Alexis will face a pivotal choice and will likely want to consult with Diane Miller, but it appears Marco will still get the chance to stay on board. That said, Alexis and Diane will remain cautious, keeping a close eye on Marco in case he's unknowingly wrapped up in Sidwell's questionable dealings. Back with Carly, she'll catch up with Felicia Scorpio. Felicia will ask for a favor and offer some thoughtful insight into a situation that could end up being a blessing for Carly's loved ones. Elsewhere in Port Charles, Curtis Ashford will push Jordan Ashford for clarity. Alexis Davis faced the music, Sonny Corinthos ruffled feathers with a high-profile gathering, and Molly Lansing Davis encountered a situation that could irrevocably alter her future. The courtroom was packed as the fate of Alexis Davis hung in the balance. Accused of violating her parole, stemming from her past struggles with alcohol and a violent incident, Alexis faced the daunting prospect of returning to prison. The tension was palpable as the prosecution laid out their case, meticulously detailing instances where Alexis allegedly skirted the terms of her release. They argued that her continued presence in Port Charles, surrounded by the temptations and triggers of her past, posed an unacceptable risk to the community. Defense attorney Diane Miller delivered a powerful and impassioned rebuttal, highlighting Alexis's genuine remorse for her past actions and her unwavering commitment to sobriety. Diane presented evidence of Alexis's consistent attendance at AA meetings, her dedication to helping others struggling with addiction, and her positive contributions to the Port Charles community. The argument centered on the progress Alexis had made and the devastating impact a prison sentence would have on her sobriety, her family, and her ability to continue her rehabilitation. The courtroom held its collective breath as Judge Carson rendered his verdict. After carefully reviewing the evidence and considering the arguments presented by both sides, Judge Carson announced that he would be revoking Alexis's parole. However, he stipulated stricter conditions, including mandatory therapy sessions and regular check-ins with her parole officer. He emphasized that any further violation of her parole would result in immediate incarceration. Alexis, visibly relieved, expressed her gratitude to Diane and vowed to redouble her efforts to maintain her sobriety and uphold the terms of her release. While spared a return to prison, the verdict served as a stark reminder of the fragility of her recovery and the constant vigilance required to stay on the right path. The ramifications of this legal battle will undoubtedly continue to ripple through Alexis's life and relationships in the Corinthos mansion. Sonny Corinthos hosted a lavish party, ostensibly to celebrate a recent business success. However, the guest list, which included several prominent figures from both legitimate and less than legitimate corners of Port Charles society, raised eyebrows and sparked considerable controversy. Among the attendees were Mayor Laura Collins, Police Commissioner Jordan Ashford, and various members of Sonny's organization. The juxtaposition of these disparate groups fueled speculation and accusations of blurred lines between law enforcement and organized crime. Laura, facing increasing scrutiny from the public and the press, found herself caught in a political firestorm. Critics accused her of appearing to endorse Sonny's activities by attending the party, potentially compromising her position as mayor and undermining public trust. Despite claiming she was there to keep an eye on things, her presence at the event painted a picture of a far more convivial relationship with the mob boss than she was prepared to admit. Jordan, similarly under pressure, maintained that her attendance was strictly professional, asserting that she was gathering intelligence and monitoring potential criminal activity. However, her interactions with Sonny and other known criminals were perceived by some as a breach of protocol and a potential conflict of interest. The optics of the situation were undeniably damaging, raising questions about the integrity of the Port Charles Police Department. The party itself was a spectacle of extravagance and power, a blatant display of Sonny's influence and control over the Port Charles underworld. Whispers circulated about the true purpose of the gathering, with some speculating that it was a strategic meeting to solidify alliances and discuss future business ventures. The event highlighted the complex and often morally ambiguous dynamics that permeate Port Charles, where the lines between right and wrong are frequently blurred. The most heart-wrenching developments of the episode, however, centered on Molly Lansing Davis. Molly, who has been undergoing fertility treatments with her husband TJ Ashford, received some devastating news that cast a dark cloud over their future. After undergoing a series of tests, Molly learned that her chances of conceiving a child naturally are significantly lower than previously anticipated. The doctor explained that due to a combination of factors, including underlying medical conditions, her fertility is severely compromised. The news shattered Molly's hopes of becoming a mother and left her reeling with grief and despair. TJ, who has been unwavering in his support of Molly throughout their fertility journey, struggled to comfort her in the face of this devastating setback. He reaffirmed his love for her and his desire to start a family, regardless of the challenges they may face. He suggested exploring alternative options, such as adoption or surrogacy, but Molly remained inconsolable, grappling with the emotional weight of her infertility. The episode concluded with Molly retreating into herself, unable to fully process the implications of the doctor's prognosis. TJ, heartbroken by her pain, vowed to remain by her side, and help her navigate this difficult chapter in their lives. Their journey to parenthood has taken an unexpected and painful turn, testing the strength of their marriage and challenging their deepest desires. The fallout from Alexis's verdict, the controversy surrounding Sonny's party, and the tragic news impacting Molly and TJ will undoubtedly continue to unfold in the coming days. Port Charles is a town perpetually teetering on the edge of chaos, and these latest developments have only served to intensify the drama and suspense. Will Curtis get to the bottom of Jordan's sudden resignation and uncover what's really going on behind the scenes? General Hospital spoilers say Curtis will aim to strike a deal with Jordan. General Hospital delivers an action-packed episode. If you missed it, don't worry. CTS has the full rundown for you. Curtis Ashford knows Jordan Ashford too well to believe her resignation as deputy mayor adds up. He pays her a visit and points out that the only other time he's seen her behave so out of character was when she was working undercover. Jordan, unwilling to lie, doesn't deny his theory. Instead, she simply asks Curtis to let it go and not press the issue any further. Meanwhile, over near the Quartermain stables, Molly Lansing Davis runs into some car trouble when her tire goes flat. As she's calling roadside assistance, Cody Bell rides up on horseback, on none other than Hades, one of Tracy Quartermain's beloved horses. He was out giving Hades some exercise and isn't about to leave Molly stranded. When they discover Molly's spare tire is also damaged, Cody convinces her to hop on Hades with him so he can escort her back to the Davis' office. She returns to find Marco Rios already there with Lucas Jones. Alexis, surprised to see Marco so soon after recent events, expresses her concern. Lucas is left puzzled, prompting Marco to reveal that Jen Sidwell is his father. Lucas exits as the tension builds between Alexis and Marco. Marco tells Alexis that he's done his homework on the firm and knows about her Cassadine background, but he respects how she's carved her own path and wants to do the same. Alexis isn't sure if the offer for Marco is still on the table and explains she'll need to check in with Diane Miller before making a decision. Elsewhere, Felicia Scorpio drops by to see Carly Spencer for a quick talk about Sonny Corinthos and the ongoing debate over his peers. Felicia believes that if Sonny is voted out, it might be wiser for him not to resist. She feels this could be the safest option for everyone he cares about, and she urges Carly to at least consider it. After Felicia departs, Lucas returns to tell Carly that Sidwell is Marco's father. He fears this news spells the end of any romantic potential with Marco, but Carly encourages him to reflect before jumping to conclusions. Elsewhere in Port Charles, Harrison Chase confides in Brooklyn Quartermain about his struggle to get excited for Dante Falconeri's birthday celebration. He's feeling the emotional weight of not being able to have a child with his wife. As the two talk, their conversation shifts to parenthood, and they make the heartfelt decision to explore adoption together. The town gathers at Sonny's place to celebrate Dante's birthday, and Olivia Quartermain is thrilled to honor her son. Dante steps out briefly with Rocco Falconeri, who is preparing to deliver a speech. But Rocco is uneasy. He's been reading the online criticism targeting his grandmother, Laura Collins, due to her close connection with Sonny. Worried that having both grandparents at his speech could cause more backlash for Laura, Rocco voices his concerns. Sonny, overhearing the conversation, offers to skip the event as long as Dante agrees to record the speech for him. Rocco agrees it's for the best, though he feels guilty for suggesting it. Meanwhile, Lois Cirillo chats with Giovanni Gio Palmieri at the party, and Lulu Spencer joins the conversation. As they talk about Gio's background, Lulu can't help but notice some uncanny similarities to the child Brooklyn once gave up many years ago. The episode kicked off with Molly Lansing Davis finding herself in a perilous situation. Held captive in a dilapidated warehouse, Molly was visibly terrified as her captor, whose identity remained shrouded in mystery, laid out his demands. The unknown assailant was targeting TJ Ashford, using Molly as leverage to coerce him into complying with his scheme. Meanwhile, Cody, acting on a hunch and driven by his growing feelings for Sasha Gilmore, stumbled upon the warehouse. Alerted by muffled cries, Cody bravely investigated, discovering Molly bound and gagged. Without hesitation, Cody confronted the captor, engaging in a tense standoff that ultimately ended with Cody overpowering the assailant and freeing Molly. "I was scared for my life," Molly confessed to TJ after being rescued. "I don't know what would have happened if Cody hadn't shown up. He saved me." TJ, overcome with relief and gratitude, profusely thanked Cody for his heroic actions. The incident served as a catalyst, further solidifying the bond between Cody and Sasha, who arrived on the scene shortly after Molly's liberation. Sasha, visibly shaken by the near tragedy, clung to Cody, expressing her immense appreciation for his bravery. "You're a hero, Cody," Sasha declared, her eyes filled with emotion. "Thank you for saving Molly. Thank you for everything." Cody, downplaying his actions, brushed off the praise. "I just did what anyone would have done," he insisted. "I couldn't stand by and let something bad happen to Molly." However, the identity of Molly's captor remains a pressing concern for the Port Charles Police Department. Jordan Ashford, leading the investigation, vowed to bring the perpetrator to justice. "We're not going to rest until we find out who did this and why," Jordan assured TJ and Molly. "This city won't tolerate violence like this." The investigation has already turned its focus on several potential suspects, with past enemies of TJ topping the list. While the motive behind the kidnapping remains unclear, speculation is rife that it may be related to TJ's ongoing work at General Hospital or a personal vendetta. Moving on to another storyline, Marco, Ava Jerome's enigmatic new business partner, found himself on the defensive as questions surrounding his suspicious activities intensified. Laura Collins, ever vigilant and protective of her family, confronted Marco about his frequent secret phone calls and clandestine meetings. "I've been noticing you sneaking around, Marco.
I want to know
Laura
what's
stated
going
firmly.
on.
What are you hiding?" Marco, caught off guard by Laura's direct approach, offered a convoluted explanation, claiming that he was simply dealing with sensitive business matters that required discretion. He insisted that his actions were in no way detrimental to Ava or their partnership. "Laura, I assure you, everything I'm doing is above board," Marco pleaded. "I would never do anything to jeopardize my business relationship with Ava. I value her trust and our mutual success." Laura, however, remained unconvinced. Her years of experience in law enforcement had honed her intuition, and she sensed that Marco was withholding crucial information. "I'm not sure I believe you, Marco," Laura confessed. "I'm going to be watching you very closely." Marco's explanation did little to alleviate Laura's suspicions, and it is likely that she will continue to investigate his activities, potentially uncovering a web of deceit that could have significant consequences for Ava and the entire Jerome family. The episode culminated with Lulu Spencer Falconery's growing unease regarding Gio's true intentions. Lulu, who has been cautiously building a friendship with Gio since his arrival in Port Charles, has begun to notice inconsistencies in his stories and a general air of secrecy surrounding his past. Lulu's suspicions were further fueled by a chance encounter with Dante Falconeri, her ex-husband and the father of her child, Rocco. Dante, who has a keen eye for detail and a strong sense of justice, shared his own reservations about Gio, citing several red flags that he had observed during their limited interactions. "I don't trust him," Dante confided. "There's something about him that doesn't sit right with me. Be careful." Dante's warning resonated deeply with Lulu, reinforcing her own doubts about Gio's authenticity. Determined to uncover the truth, Lulu resolved to investigate Gio's background and uncover any hidden motives he may be harboring. "I need to know who Gio really is." Lulu declared to herself, "I can't let him deceive me or anyone else I care about." Lulu's investigation into Gio promises to be a captivating storyline as she navigates a treacherous landscape of secrets and lies, potentially uncovering a shocking truth that could reshape the lives of those around her. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.